Hello, this is Tom, and welcome to this brief update on our season that has just gone and the upcoming season. So, first off, we want to run through a few of the achievements over the year. So, the first and biggest things was obviously the launch of our first ever National League teams this year at under 16s and under 18s. Although the results on court weren't quite what we were hoping for, it's been fantastic to give our players an opportunity to test themselves against the best teams in the area. It's been a real growth period for players, as we've seen huge improvements individually over the course of the season, despite some of the training restrictions that we had with court availability, which should be rectified over the course of this year, as we'll go on to during the course of this video. Again, at regional league, it's been really good to have 14s and a 16s team taking part this year. Huge numbers training and playing at those ages, all about developing the numbers within the course of it. We went from one team taking part the first year to having 4 teams playing competitively outside of the club, which has been a real learning experience for us and fantastic. We've had great numbers at the under 12s and younger sessions led by Coach Nathan, which has really given us a lot of encouragement for the future. And Lauren has been getting increased numbers at the girls sessions, who are taking part in their first competitive games next weekend at one of the FBA pop-up events, which we're really happy about. Off the court, we've added new volunteers. In particular, Roz has done an incredible job leveling up everything that we're doing around back of house organisation and the National League. Her experience and her knowledge and ideas has really transformed what we've done, and it's been an incredible addition. So we're really grateful for that. But in lots of different areas, the more people that we can get taking part and helping with the off-court things, the more time our coaches have to get on with coaching and researching and doing extra things, which really helps them out with new kits for all of the teams. That's another thing where it's a small thing where we've invested a lot of money into making sure that we look the part and we are ready for expansion in the future. Similar with the merchandise that Sam has worked out, where we're adding new merchandise and just trying to help our kids look at the part as well as play the part. And then the final bit is the move to the club right system for booking on and for tracking. Again, this isn't something that you see as players, but for us, in terms of the back of house, it means that we don't have to do a lot of the chasing around, the financial things, the collecting money, the going to the banks. It's all done in one system that helps things run more smoothly. So it's a really helpful way of us being able to track everything within the club and pay for everything within the club, especially as our expenses increase with additional court hire. So next season, our big thing is the move into Rodheath. The latest bit is we've got the quotes for the backboards, scoreboards that we need. We have, unfortunately, due to the time it's taken for the venue to be transferred from the Brio and the council through to the school, we've lost a £5,000 grant that we were going to get through BE and Sport England, which was COVID related funding, and the prices of things have increased due to the time period since we did our initial fundraiser. But we've got a 2-stage installation strategy. We were just waiting to confirm the exact dates where we'll be installing the show court and the scoreboard initially, and moving in at a point after the May half term, which should be transformational for the club. In terms of how that looks, we've been doing a timetable that lots of you have filled in on what you are wanting for within the club, and basically we're going to have age groups going to be training together for at least one session. So example for that is the under 16s National League and under 16s Regional League will be training at the same time across opposite courts, when we'll have an increase in the hours available from 13 that we currently have each week to 27. That's every night on the week, 6 till 9 p.m, Saturday and Sundays 10 a.m. to 4 p.m, with a huge array of extra things that we can offer. We have the option within the court to split it into 2 or 4 courts as the age group needs, and we'll have, once both stages have been completed, 14 baskets, all of which should be height adjustable to allow us to put things at the right height and the right ability for each age group and ability level. That will give us the option to invite additional coaches in, small group coaches in, people that work within the area, Sam will be running some small group sessions, but we're open to other people coming in and giving our players additional opportunities, and giving opportunities to players from other clubs who want to get shots up, who want to work on their individual game, where there is space available. That survey is still open at the moment, which is informing the decisions about our timetable. So if you want to fill that in, that would be grateful. One of the other things we're going to be looking to do is, especially at the younger age groups below under 16s, try and avoid the football, the netball, the rugby leagues and training sessions where it's possible. We want to encourage all of our players to take part in as many sports as possible at a younger age group, as it's been shown to help reduce injuries and develop movement and get people to work out what they want to do the most in the future. In terms of other things, we are, as many of you will be aware, changing the structure from the club from an unincorporated club to a charity. We've identified that the most effective charity structure for us. We've identified some trustees who have agreed to get on board and help, and we are in the process of completing the paperwork for that, which will take place, and it should all be done by the end of summer. The idea is that we look at building more than just a basketball club, and look at building the off-court things and giving opportunities for people to become volunteers and develop our players and people that are involved in the club to a greater extent. But it will also open up other charitable funding sources and help us in terms of our governance. If anyone is interested in becoming involved as a trustee, then speak to me, and we can see what we can do to get you on board, because we will always be looking for more help and to expand. So how do we want the club to look long term? We want it to be inclusive in every sense, not just like gender or financial inequalities, but every aspect of the club. Having our own venue for a larger period of time will allow us to build all of that. We want every player to develop within the club. Everyone gets playing time. Everyone gets an opportunity to get better. We want to create an environment that is more than basketball, that is not a lot, as well as the actual developing as players, as coaches, as referees, also other volunteers, other interview skills, other things that we can do outside, and to make sure that it continues to be a respectful and welcoming environment for everyone involved. We've seen over the course of our involvement in the National League and the Regional League this year how important it is to make sure that everyone feels that they get a valuable experience out of the sport. We hopefully create that as we go through. So how will we look in the future? Rodheath will give us an opportunity to be a show court for our teams, but it also gives us an opportunity to run our own leagues the way that we want them to be run, and that is in many cases going to be small-sided, 3-on-3, cross courts, lower rings for lower age groups, using the side courts for the slightly older age groups. But we will be playing around with this to make sure that we've got something that works for all of the players. Leagues should be focused on getting players touches, getting players shots, getting every player the ability to develop in an appropriate setting. So that is what we were aiming to do with our leagues initially. We are looking at doing mixed leagues at the start, but we will develop as we go on, and realistically I think we're going to end up doing some girls only leagues if we can grow the numbers to the way that we want to grow, as that's been shown to be a better way of developing for the girls. So in terms of the future men's structure, what we're looking at aiming to do next year is to have leagues going at under 10s, under 12s, 14s and 16s at actual Rodheath, and then running various age group teams at Regional League, in the Northwest Regional League, and in the National League, in the Basketball England National League. We are considering whether we were going to do an under 23s team. We will look at that over the course of the summer. For the women, for the girls side, again, we're really lucky to have Lauren at bay. She is by far the best playing record out of anybody at the club at a national level, and is a fantastic role model for all of our students and players at the club, boys and girls. So we're aiming to build women's side over the course of this year. The girls will get the first choice of training times once we've got into Rodheath, as part of a structure to try and allow them more opportunities to play. And we're also going to be taking part in the under 14s to under 18s FBA pop-up events over the course of the year, as many of them as we're able to staff, with the aim to then fill out our regional and national league teams over the next 5 to 10 years. So At Rudheath, the plan is starting leagues at under 10s, 12s, 14s, and then possibly 16s and 18s the first year as capacity allows. We're adding these extra sessions as we're able to. We want 25 players per league minimum, plus potentially the regional league and national league players, and we're aiming to run 4 leagues a year of 8 to 10 weeks. In the mini seasons in between, we're looking at common concepts, things that we can do to improve, and rebalancing the teams. The aim is all games are high scoring and close, so we will be moving the teams around to make sure that we achieve that. So there's no point in playing games where you're winning by 30 points, you're losing by 30 points. You don't learn anything in the same way. At the younger age groups, we're going to be using our players as refs and coaches. You will need a DBS if you're age 16 plus, but that will be paid role for a way for our kids to get paid roles within the sport. And we'll have a lot more of an emphasis on the player-led coaching as we go through it. Rudheath, for these regional league for these teams below regional league and national league players, the head coaches of the age groups are going to be assisted by players. So we're looking to get loads of our players an opportunity to help. We've had loads of people volunteer as part of the Duke of Edinburgh, but there's also loads of other opportunities to do it. We'll be using age-appropriate basketballs and baskets, and the head coach is going to be creating and filming sessions which will allow our junior coaches to deliver at a much higher level. So, summary, what's happening in 24-25? The biggest thing that we can possibly do is Rudheath, getting involved in Rudheath and building that over the course of the year. It is a substantial investment in terms of the club's funds, so we need to make sure that we have as many players involved as possible. We have been really fortunate to be involved with a pilot scheme from the Junior WNBA, where they will be speaking to the schools in our area to put on Year 7 leagues for 4 selected schools, which is fully funded by the WNBA. It's a really fantastic opportunity to get more girls involved in the sport, which we're then hoping to build on within the club. We should have our charity status confirmed over the course of it, and as part of the charity status, we're looking at an off-court program of development for our players. I hate awards and social evenings, but we've had lots of people say that we should be doing those. So we are speaking to some of the parents about organising that over the course of it. And then the final thing is the return of our holiday basketball camps, which we'll be doing during the off season, during the half-term breaks over the course of 24-25. A variety of ones from different age groups and different skill levels as we go through. So hopefully that gives people lots of ideas about what's going on. Any questions, as always, just get in touch and let us know. Thanks very much.